Okay, let's dive into this. What I'm about to tell you might be a little hard to hear, but it is the absolute, unvarnished truth. Discipline? It's actually easy. Yeah, you heard me right. The internet has totally lied to you about what it really takes. Today, this explainer is going to show you exactly how to take your control back.
So think about it for a second. Whenever you hear the word discipline, your mind probably jumps straight to those impossible, grueling routines, right? You try to stick to a rigid schedule, you inevitably slip up, and bam! Immediately you're thinking, man, I just can't do this. I don't have what it takes. Well, our source material points out exactly why you feel this way. Internet hustle culture has built up this monstrous, incredibly intimidating image of what a disciplined life looks like. It's practically designed to make you feel like if you aren't operating at maximum capacity 24/7, you're just failing. And honestly, that's completely destroying your self-esteem.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly where we go wrong. We are constantly, day in and day out, bombarded with these extreme examples. We see David Goggins waking up at 3 a.m. to run 20 miles, or Elon Musk grinding through 100-hour work weeks. But let's take a step back and look at your actual everyday reality. Are you trying to run multiple global megacorporations? Are you an ultra-endurance athlete whose literal job demands that level of crazy output? Probably not. Those extremes are demanded by their highly specific, super unique professions, not your everyday life. You've got completely different priorities, and holding yourself to their wild standard, it's literally just setting yourself up for failure.
So here is the most liberating number you are going to see today. 0. Why? Because that is exactly where every single successful, highly disciplined person on this earth started. 0. The influencers and those motivational pages, they've kind of conditioned us to believe that these super successful people were just born this way, like they popped out of the womb ready to grind. But internally, biologically, we're all wired exactly the same. Discipline isn't some genetic trait you either have or you don't. It's a skill, it's a muscle. And everyone, from billionaires to elite athletes, had to start building that muscle from absolute zero. Failing at those extreme billionaire-level routines, it's exactly like trying to jump straight to the peak of Mount Everest without ever having hiked a tiny little hill in your backyard. The source material actually uses this exact analogy, and it's perfect because it captures why we quit. It's not that you lack willpower. Actually, scratch that. It's that you are completely overwhelming your biology and your mental capacity. Attempting the hardest possible task on day one is terrifying, and your brain is quite literally designed to reject that kind of sudden, massive stress. So, what does this all mean? The absolutely crucial point here is that we need to stop focusing on the problem and start looking at the solution. If trying to climb Everest on day one is a terrible idea, how do we actually become disciplined? Well, we have to fundamentally change our beliefs about how habits work. We need to rewire our brains to realize that being disciplined isn't about constant, grueling suffering. To make discipline feel practically effortless, we first have to understand that all of our daily tasks actually fall into one of two very distinct categories. The first category is what the source calls the time reminder bucket. These are your incredibly low-friction tasks. To get these done, you definitely don't need a fiery motivational speech. You literally just need to remember to do them. Think about it: drinking a glass of water, writing just one sentence in a journal, or taking a daily vitamin. If an alarm goes off on your phone nudging you to do it, you'll probably just do it quietly with zero mental resistance. You're already easily disciplined when it comes to this bucket. But then we have the second category, the willpower bucket. And oh boy, this is where things get spicy. These are the high-friction tasks. Let's say you promised yourself you'd go to the gym at 4 p.m. You've got an alarm set, you remember perfectly well that you need to go, but 4 p.m. rolls around and suddenly you feel incredibly lazy. We've all been there, right? A simple reminder just isn't going to cut it here. You actually have to generate an internal push. You've got to expend real mental energy to overcome that heavy resistance and literally drag yourself out the door. Let's break down the differences here. As you can see, the time reminder bucket relies on just a simple nudge for those low-friction tasks. Meanwhile, the willpower bucket requires a massive mental push for the high-friction tasks, like that 4 p.m. gym session we just talked about. The absolute key takeaway from our source material is this: if you're a beginner starting from absolute zero, you cannot just focus on one or the other. You have to train both buckets simultaneously if you want to build real, lasting discipline in your life. Let's move to and see how this builds. So how do we actually put this into action? The source outlines a really cool framework of 4 foundational domino habits. These are basically easy actions that set off a massive chain reaction of positive momentum in your life. To effectively train both your time reminder and your willpower buckets without totally burning out, you just need to knock these dominoes down. And the best part? They're designed to be incredibly easy to start.
All right, habit number 1 is meditation. Now, hold on, don't click away just yet. I completely understand your immediate skepticism. You're probably sitting there thinking, I can't sit still, this hippie stuff isn't for me. What does this have to do with getting things done? But trust me, it has everything to do with it. Meditation is the ultimate foundational tool for controlling your thoughts and your emotions. Because honestly, if you can't control what's going on in your own head, how on earth can you expect to control your actions when things get difficult? This isn't just some spiritual woo-woo. This is a literal physiological upgrade for your brain. The source material highlights hard scientific research proving that regular meditation actually increases the gray matter in the exact areas of your brain responsible for self-control, attention, and emotional regulation. By taking the time to meditate, you are physically building a stronger brain that is, quite literally, better equipped to handle the heavy demands of discipline.
So, how do we start this with absolutely zero friction? Well, here's the method. Step 1, set 3 alarms on your phone, 1 in the morning, 1 during the day, and 1 in the evening. Step 2, when they ring, just meditate for 5 minutes. That's it, just 5 minutes. What happens, according to the source's own personal experience, is that eventually you'll naturally drop the times that don't work for you, and you'll filter down to the one sustainable time that actually fits your life. By the way, the source explicitly recommends an app called Medito to help you start. They note it's completely unsponsored, just a genuine, solid recommendation for beginners. Moving right along, habit number 2, wake up at the exact same time every single day. The logic behind this one is profoundly simple, but man, is it effective. The very first decision you make in the morning totally dictates the trajectory of your entire day. If you win that first battle, you set a precedent of victory. You're proving to your brain right out of the gate that your long-term intentions are way stronger than your short-term desires.
To really drive this home, the source references a super powerful concept from Jocko Willink. The snooze alarm is the dream killer. Think about that for a second. When you blindly reach over and smack that snooze button, you are actively training your brain to prioritize 10 seconds of instant cozy comfort over your actual long-term goals. You are telling yourself that what you want right now is more important than what you want most. Kill the snooze button, and I promise you instantly level up your daily discipline.
Okay, moving on to habit number 3, never skip workouts. Now, we aren't just talking about getting a shredded six-pack here. Working out is a direct, heavy-duty workout for your willpower bucket. It's all about stress management, emotional regulation, and most importantly, honoring a commitment to yourself, even when you feel incredibly lazy. When you consistently push through the physical resistance of a workout, that mental toughness just bleeds into every other area of your life. But hey, remember our Mount Everest rule? We aren't starting with grueling 2-hour gym sessions. To ensure this habit actually sticks, you've got to keep the barrier to entry microscopic. The source suggests starting with just 10 push-ups at home. No expensive gym membership required, no driving, no fancy workout clothes. Just drop to the floor and knock out 10 push-ups at a set time. It falls right into that easy time reminder bucket initially, but it builds the vital consistency you're going to need to tackle bigger physical challenges later on. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is a connection we often totally miss, how what we eat directly impacts our mental fortitude. Habit number 4 is definitely tougher, but it is incredibly powerful. Quit sugar. We normally think of sugar strictly in terms of calories or physical health, right? But the source makes a super compelling case for how deeply your diet impacts your actual daily ability to remain disciplined. Biologically speaking, a high-sugar diet leads to massive energy crashes and severely impaired cognitive function. When your energy crashes, your willpower completely crashes right along with it, making it nearly impossible to resist temptation or push through hard work. On the flip side, cutting out sugar gives you stable energy, laser-sharp focus, and therefore much stronger self-control. You are literally fueling your brain's ability to stay disciplined by removing the chemical spikes that normally derail it. So let's bring this whole shebang together. The source provides us with these 4 domino habits that you can start right now today. Meditate with the 3-alarm method to physically grow your brain's self-control centers. Wake up at the exact same time without snoozing to win that crucial first battle of the day. Do 10 push-ups at home to build consistent physical willpower. And eliminate sugar to protect your daily mental energy. This absolutely matters because taking these tiny, manageable micro-steps completely bypasses the toxic hustle culture myth. You don't have to be David Goggins to take control of your life. You've got the framework now. You understand that discipline isn't some terrifying mountain you have to jump to. It's a small, totally manageable hill you just start walking up today. The only thing left is to actually take action.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with one simple, provocative thought based on the source material we've covered. When your alarm goes off tomorrow morning, what are you going to do? Will you kill your dreams with the snooze button, or will you wake up and take your power back? The choice is entirely yours.